Yes, I finally have it. This is the moment I was born for. 3 weeks of camping outside the store, 2 near fights with scalper bots, but she is mine. From today on, my life is a 4K nonstop party with zero loading times.
And congratulations, Hoody. You just traded $600 for a piece of hardware with RGB lighting. Do we really need to play the national anthem for this?
You don't get it, Owl. This isn't just plastic. This is the end of all my worries. This is the final level of happiness.
Well, Your Majesty, where's the party? The console is already collecting dust and your face looks like a crashed Excel spreadsheet.
I don't know. It's great, yeah, but now it's just there. I feel just as empty as before. Maybe emptier. Am I broken?
No, bro, you just slammed into the Hedonic Treadmill at 100 miles per hour. And I'm going to show you why your brain systematically lies to you when it promises that buying stuff will save you. Stay tuned because there is a famous study from the 70s that compared lottery winners to people who lost everything. The result was so disturbing, it changed our entire view on success. I'll reveal why the millionaire ended up no happier than the man in the wheelchair. The Arrival Fallacy, the mirage of happiness. We all spend our lives steering toward a point on the horizon. We call it success, the dream house, or the GameStation 5000. Harvard psychologist Tal Ben-Shahar coined the Arrival Fallacy for this. It's the fatal belief that reaching a destination will make us permanently happy. Imagine your brain as a donkey chasing a carrot hanging from a stick in front of its nose. The carrot is the promise of happiness. The stick is your biological reward system. The problem? As soon as the donkey grabs the carrot, it's gone. He chews on it for a second and immediately needs the next carrot to keep moving. We are programmed to define the state of reaching a goal as the new 0 point instantly. We never arrive because the goal moves back a step for every step we take toward it. You might think, interesting little owl, but I'm not that easily manipulated. Think again, Hoody. Your brain uses a chemical trick to keep you blind. The dopamine betrayal and the prediction error. Why were you so sure the console would change your life? It's because of the dopamine reward prediction error. Dopamine isn't a hormone for enjoying, it's a hormone for craving. It switches on when a reward is possible. Inside your head, a commercial is running on loop. If we have this, everything will be perfect. This film is chemically induced propaganda. Your brain fires massive amounts of dopamine to motivate you to spend the energy required for the purchase. But the moment the object is in your possession, the uncertainty vanishes. And so does the dopamine. Reality has no chance against the high-end blockbuster your brain produced in your head beforehand. You experience a dopamine crash because the hardware in your living room can never shine as brightly as the fantasy in your prefrontal cortex. Your brain simply lied to you to get you to act. But how deep does this effect go? Remember that lottery study I mentioned? Now it gets really eerie. The 1978 study, Lottery Winners versus Life-Altering Accidents. In 1978, researchers studied two groups that couldn't be more different. Group A, lottery winners who won between $50,000 and $1 million. Group B, people who were paralyzed after severe accidents. You'd expect the lottery winners to be in seventh heaven and the accident victims to be devastated. And shortly after the event, that was true. But after just 1 year, something incredible happened. The researchers asked both groups about their everyday happiness, eating, reading a book, or talking to friends. The result? The lottery winners were not happier than a neutral control group. Worse yet, they found everyday pleasures less satisfying. Why? Because of the contrast effect. When you experience the ultimate peak of $1 million, a sunset or a good meal looks pale by comparison. The accident victims, on the other hand, had almost returned to their original baseline. This is called hedonic adaptation. Your brain has a set point for happiness that is almost as stable as your height. Whether you turn the heating up to the max or throw open the window, your happiness thermostat will always return to your personal comfort temperature, e.g. 7 to 10 points. And now it gets even crazier. I'm going to show you that your happiness level was largely written into your DNA at birth and why you're spending 90% of your energy on the wrong things. The 50-40-10 rule, the pie chart of truth. Imagine your happiness as a pie. How much of it do you think is determined by your bank account or possessions? The answer will shock you because science has an exact number, and it's much smaller than you think. 50%, S equals set point, is purely genetic. Your happiness set point is your factory setting. Some people are born lucky, others are born grumpy cats. 40%, V equals voluntary activities, is determined by your intentional actions and mindset. Only 10%, C equals circumstances, determine your external circumstances. Yes, you heard right. Your house, your car, your job, and your console only account for 1/10 of your long-term happiness. Psychologist Sonia Lubomirsky has even summarized the permanent level of happiness, marked with H, in a formula. H equals S plus C plus V. The paradox of choice and the hedonic treadmill strike precisely at this 10%. We invest 90% of our energy in improving only 10% of our happiness potential. It's like trying to put out a house fire by repainting the front door. But why? Why is nature so cruel, never letting us reach the finish line? The answer will shock you, because according to evolution, a permanently satisfied version of you would already be dead. Why evolution hates permagrinners. Satisfaction is the enemy of survival. Imagine caveman Hoody. He found some berries and is now blissfully happy forever. He lies under a tree, staring at the clouds with a smile. What happens? He doesn't notice the saber-toothed tiger sneaking up. He forgets to gather wood for the winter. He dies. The ones who survived were the restless ones. The ones who, after eating a mammoth, thought, okay, that was tasty, but what are we eating tomorrow? And can we build a better spear? The hedonic treadmill is a survival feature. It keeps us in a constant state of optimization. That inner void you feel after a purchase is actually your evolutionary superpower, forcing you to act. But in our modern world, this power becomes a trap because we are forced to measure ourselves against the Red Queen, an effect that forces you to run faster and faster just to stay in the same place. Which Red Queen are you asking about? I'm sure you know her. Social comparison, racing the Red Queens. In Alice in Wonderland, the Red Queen has to run just to stay in the same spot. That is your life on social media. We don't compare our happiness absolutely, we compare it relatively. If you have a new phone, you're happy, until you see your neighbor has the newer model. Your happiness thermostat is manipulated by the success of others. We run on the treadmill not just for ourselves, but to avoid being thrown off by the speed of everyone else. But how can we escape the hamster wheel? Strategies for treadmill hacking. We can't stop the treadmill, Hoody, but we can slow it down. Experiences over goods. Material things are static. Your brain gets used to the new car because it looks the same every morning. Experiences like travel or concerts are dynamic. They change, offer surprises, and often become even more valuable in our memories thanks to rosy retrospection. They are adaptation resistant. Negative visualization, a trick used by the Stoics 2,000 years ago. Actively imagine you've lost what you possess. Imagine your house burns down. Imagine your health is gone. It feels terrible for a second, but when you open your eyes, you experience a reset of your baseline. Suddenly, the normal is a privilege again. Gratitude as an antidote. It sounds like a calendar quote, but it's neurobiology. When you actively focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you interrupt the dopamine signal of the hunt. You tell your brain, we've already survived, you can turn the fan down now.
Okay, I get it. The console won't save my soul. It's just fun for 20 minutes a day. And my 7 out of 10 is actually a pretty solid baseline.
Exactly, bro. Whoever looks for the end of the treadmill won't find it in the next Amazon order, but in accepting that enough is already a victory.
You know what else would be a victory? If people subscribe to this channel. That gives us a dopamine kick that, according to Little Owl, lasts at least 3 minutes.
Grins. Probably 4. Tell us in the comments, what was your biggest treadmill disappointment? See you in the next deep dive. Stay satisfied.